depressing. But usually I have a lot more on my mind. I actually have everything on my mind. I just don't want to talk about any of it. It's like having a mountain on your, not just like your back, but it's like crammed down your throat. That's what it feels like. It's just like a mountain turned upside down and then just trying to cram it down your throat. It's like, imagine like that alligator whatever that was. What was it? Was it an anaconda? But they tried to eat an alligator and it was not gonna happen. It's not happening. It's just, and the alligator had to throw it all back up. But mine won't even like go past like my teeth, so there's like it's not gonna freaking. I just, I've already talked about everything like a million times and nothing. It doesn't really change anything, It doesn't change anything. It's not gonna change anything. The only one that I have on my side is God. So the physical world. This is pretty hard navigating. It's kind of hard being like your own like not necessarily like your own motivation, like your own motivator, but like more like you kind of have to parent yourself. But how do you parent yourself when you weren't taught the right way? So you don't know what's right and what's wrong. And I know that sounds stupid, but like more like what's right and wrong. That's kind of like what somebody was talking about. Like how they are trying to put like, I don't know if I'm explaining it right, but how they explained it. Like a social credit score. And it's like everybody judges you on your reaction to life circumstances. And if you don't react the correct way, then, oh, you're just a shitty person. You should have done this, and you should have done that, and you should have did better, and it was never the person's fault that did the shit to you or caused you to be like this. And I ain't saying, like, you can't get a hold of your emotions and stuff, but when you are like, it doesn't matter what it is, what the situation is. You can have one person say, oh, well, you didn't cry enough. And then the next person will be like, well, why are you crying so much? Like, You could literally, oh my gosh, it just is incredible how no matter what you do, it's never good enough for some people. Even like being in the middle. Like, not like, oh, you're crying too much, or oh, you're not crying at all. You're like in the middle crying. And it's like, no, that's not even good enough. They're gonna find another reason for what you did wrong. Why it was your fault. And then the isolation comes, and it's like they're treating me like I fucking murdered somebody. Like I was the one out doing heinous shit, hurting people. So, sorry, I was gonna pause so I can take care of my needy cats. But it's like, yeah, I don't understand it. Living in a community of people that literally think that you are the fucking monster. But they're the ones doing the shit. They're the ones hurting innocent people. The shit I've went through these past few years, if I would have started uploading from the very beginning, part of me wishes I would have, but of course I was too scared to. There would have been no doubt in your mind what's going on. I didn't even get some of the recordings that I should have. That had the best information. And now all I have is my word. But you know, who believes the victim, right? Yeah, 2019 was pretty fucked with the whole COVID bullshit. But it sure woke a lot of us up. And I ain't talking about some woke shit like, oh, the progressive movement and this and that, or whatever the hell you want to call it. But I'm talking about people being woken up to their own reality and to the reality around us. All the lies and deceit and the most evil deeds being exposed. Satan being exposed. I mean, and it hasn't just been since then. We've always seen it. It's just like we saw it and then there was nothing we thought we could do about it. But you know, it's like we're seeing it's even bigger than what we thought. That this is all orchestrated from the very top. Satan did a pretty good job on this world, didn't he? He did a pretty good job with what he wanted to do. He did it real good. You can't even trust your own family. And that's already been shown over the years. And I never wanted to be somebody that was like, oh, it can't happen to me, it can't happen to me. I always told myself I was never going to be someone like that, because I wasn't going to be saying that shit and then I'm sitting in the fucking trunk somewhere in a fucking empty parking lot. But I think part of me believed that because I was so careful with myself, which I found out later, like, oh, you should have done a little bit more extra to be careful. But I was still a child at the time. But it's just, I believed that I was careful enough to not be taking risks and putting myself in situations that I shouldn't be in. And I really did believe that my family was a good family. I really did believe that. I really thought that I had a good relationship with each individual, and I have a big family. I have a really very, very big family. And I know there's even bigger families than my family, but shoot, I got family I don't even know about. And I know everybody does that too, but I'm talking about like linked. Like immediate. I don't know who my grandfather is. You know, so and that was all, you know, a secret for 50 years plus. But she knows who he is. She just don't tell her. She's not gonna tell her. But when you have family that lies and keeps secrets, especially when it has something to do with you, and you find out, it's like the first thing you think is, Jesus, what the fuck else happened that I don't know about that's being hid from me? So, like, I just found out something recently that happened to me when I was a baby I didn't know about. It wasn't anything like, well, it could have been that I don't know of any other situation, but this situation, it wasn't anything to do with like, you know, SA, but I ended up getting neglected for a few hours and ended up needing to go to the emergency room, and I don't even know if they took me to the emergency room because they were worried about, you know, obviously CPS. But it's like, Jesus, like, you can just forget about me? Like, what the hell? And You go and ask other people about it. They're like, how'd you know that? But how you mean, how did I know that? Well, you trying to keep it a secret. You couldn't tell me that? Or I've heard over the years, you weren't supposed to know that. But now it's like, it's not even little crap like that. It's huge. And then the abuse that goes with everything is just, like I said, Satan really did a number on this world. He really did a number. And I feel pretty freaking helpless. When I was a younger kid, like, well, I ain't a kid now, but like a young kid, before I started growing up and realizing like what my abilities were, like, I wanted to help everybody. I thought like I could save the world. Like, I was like, oh yeah, like all I gotta do is be in charge and then I'll take over and everything will be okay. And it's just like, it ain't like that, obviously. It's like, oh, we can help feed world hunger by not pricing money, that we could just all be a community and work together for the good of the community. But no, that's not gonna work because everybody wants to be compensated for something. They always gotta have something in return. So, and it's never just, the joy of doing their job and knowing that they helped benefit the community and their families or anything like that. Like farmers. Like, farmers ain't gonna go farm for free. So, it's just, but, yeah, like I said, I just hope and pray that God will take care of us. The ones that He knows are gonna be on His side and that have faith in Him. And I'm not really a religious person. I'm not a Jehovah's Witness. I don't like religion. God actually is the one that pulled me away from it. Since 2019, He has been showing me a lot of things, and He's protected me from a lot of things. More than I can ever say when I was growing up. Reading the Bible, going to Kingdom Hall, doing studies. Yeah, I believed in Him, but I never saw prayer work in action. And then it's like He really did save me. And I just pray that I live for a long time, because I want to live for a long time. But I want to live like how we're supposed to. I want to do right by Him. Like, all I wanted to do was do good. So, I hope He makes a way for us. That's all I pray for.